Hello everyone, in this episode we're going to learn how and when to use strong and weak form of some words. You know, in everyday speaking, when people speak English, they always use weak form and strong form in the words they speak, right? So we should learn how to use them. When we are able to use strong form and weak form of the words, it will make us feel happy in speaking English and it sounds natural. Okay, let's get started. Here, strong form and weak form. It is very often that people use weak form when they speak English. So, when do people use weak form? Weak form is used in fast speech. Just remember this. Weak form is used in fast speech. When people speak really fast, they use weak form. Okay? So, when do people use fast speech? Well, when they're making a conversation with friends, relatives, or when they're talking about routine or familiar topics, they use fast speech. Just remember this. In fast speech, they use weak form. And when do they use fast speech? When they're making a conversation with friends or daily conversation about this or that, about their habits, about family topics they already know. They use fast speech because they think it's normal. That's why they use fast speech. You know, fast speech make people sound natural. Alright, so you already know about weak form. Weak form is used in fast speech. And how about strong form? When do people use strong form? So look at this. Strong form is only used when we are carefully explaining to someone what we want them to do, or when the topic is difficult to explain, or when we want to show contrast to what someone said. Alright, so strong form is only used when we are carefully explaining, when you try to explain something that is really new to you or it is difficult to explain, you have to use strong form. So strong form we use in slow speech. We cannot speak fast, we speak slowly because we want someone to do something that we ask them to do. Alright. Sometimes it's really difficult for us to explain to them. That's why we use strong form. We speak slowly, one by one, to help them understand what we mean to them. And then, so, what words have the strong form and weak form? Maybe you want to know about this? Well, here are some words that have two forms, strong form and weak form. So the first one, auxiliary verbs. So we will study about auxiliary verb in a minute. Prepositions, modal verbs, conjunctions, pronouns, possessive adjectives, article, there is and there are. Alright, these words are called function words. So auxiliary verbs, prepositions, modal verbs, conjunctions, pronouns, possessive adjectives, article, there is and there are. These words are called function words. So when you see these words, people usually use weak form of them. Alright, because we have some kinds of words to study, so let's choose auxiliary verbs to study today. Here it is, auxiliary verbs. Here are the words that are called auxiliary verbs, and this is the form called strong form and weak form. So we will study about how to pronounce. Here are the strong form and the weak form of them. So, the word are, in the strong form we pronounce are, but in the weak form we pronounce Alright, so we already know that weak form people usually use in fast speech. So fast speech is used in a daily conversation when they're talking about routine or familiar topics, or when they're talking with friends or relatives. Here, is, for the strong form we pronounce is, and the weak form we pronounce z or s. Am, for the strong one, and then for the weak. Okay. Was for the strong, was for the weak. Were for the strong, were for the weak. Do for the strong form, and then der or do for the weak form. Does for the strong form, does for the weak form. Have for the strong form, have or of for the weak form. Has for the strong form, has or as for the weak form. Alright, let's remember this. We use the weak form when the auxiliary verbs are at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. Alright, so you have to remember how to use the weak form of the auxiliary verbs. We use the weak form when the auxiliary verbs are at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. And how about the strong form? We use the strong form when the auxiliary verb is at the end of the sentence and we put a stress on it. It means we have to make our voice a bit louder. Okay, so here are the examples. Okay, let me read these examples for you. Are they looking for their books? So we pronounce they. And then in the strong form, because this is at the end of the sentence, or we can say this is a yes no question, we use the strong form. So we answer, yes they are. He's busy at the moment, isn't he? Yes, he is. So we do not pronounce, yes, he's. No, we do not use the weak form when we answer the question. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but I am means I am sure that I am right. Or we can say, I am sure that I am wrong. So when we want to show a contrast, we use the strong form. So in this example, expressing about contrast. So this person said, I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but this person said, but I am right. Was he at school yesterday? Was he. So we link together, we pronounce was he. Was he at school yesterday? Yes, he was. So when we answer, we use the strong form, we pronounce yes, he was. Do you? So in the weak form, we pronounce dear or do, it's like that. Do you go jogging every morning? Do you go jogging every morning? Yes, I do. So we cannot pronounce yes, I do. No, we pronounce yes, I do in the strong form. Does Tom live in England? Yes, he does. Does Tom live in England? Yes, he does. Have they got a car? Yes, they have. Have they got a car? Yes, they have. Has she come yet? Yes, she has. Has she come yet? Yes, she has. So we have to remember that the auxiliary verbs in the question or in the positive sentence, when they are in the middle or at the beginning of the sentence, we use weak form and we pronounce strong form when we want to show a contrast or when they are at the end of the sentence. Alright? So that's all for this episode, and the next episode we're going to study the weak form and the strong form of modal verbs. Thank you for watching. Bye!